Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Three-Way we're getting dirty in the trenches with the Grineer. So as you know, this was the first part in a 3-part special on how to mod for each of the 3 main factions. Now, if you haven't seen the original video, you may not know that I had to annotate the crap out of it due to update 11.5.2. So it's been revamped, and today we're going to be taking a look at damage types, weapon selection, and debunking the battle between viral, corrosive, and radiation elemental combos. Now, not all of the script has changed, so some of this might sound a bit familiar, but pay close attention because I've snuck in a few new tidbits. So first off, let's take a look at the units. A majority of Grineer troops are classified under the cloned flesh category with only a random few bits of machinery. Now on top of that cloned flesh sits 2 different types of armor, either ferrite or the much tougher alloy, which is reserved for bosses and other heavy units. Let's take a look at what that means for physical damage. As pretty much all of the Grineer faction tote a high base amount of armor, puncture is the best choice among all of the physical types as it deals 50% bonus damage to ferrite armor and 15% to alloy. Now, the remaining 2 damage types suffer steeply, impact having a 25 redux versus cloned flesh, and slashing dwindling down to 50% versus alloy armor. So all in all, if you're feeling physical, it's all about getting as much puncture as possible. For newer players, the Paris, Heck, Lex series, and Bolto series are a great place to start, while veterans will be looking more for weapons like the Paris Prime, Snipetron Vandal, Strun Wraith, and if you're feeling nostalgic, the throwing secondaries don't completely suck. Now for the most part, the Grineer will be taking potshots at you from behind cover, and some of the higher ranking units will knock you back to keep you at a distance. But every now and then you'll get a few Scorpions or Shield Lancers that want to get a little touchy-feely. Unfortunately, the only 2 feasible puncture melee weapons are the Fang and Fang Prime. So in this instance, I'd suggest you pick an elemental-based weapon, but we'll get to those right after we take a look at the elemental combos that will wear Grineer armor down to dust. After applying your base mods, which consist of overall damage boosters such as Serration and Hornet Strike, and your multi-shot mods such as Split Chamber and Barrel Diffusion, I would then add in an electric elemental mod as well as a toxin mod in order to create the corrosive element, which deals an additional 75% damage to ferrite armored targets. Now, while the list of ferrite-clad units is a bit longer than alloy, I personally feel like the biggest Grineer threats sit in the alloy category, especially if we're talking about survival and defense missions. The only ferrite armored targets that you should be worried about are the heavy gunner and the commander. So personally, the build that I've got equipped uses an electric and fire elemental mod to create radiation damage, which deals 75% more to targets wearing alloy. This combination easily blows bombards and napalms away, not to mention the fact that bosses like Krill, Zanuka, and yes, even the Stalker wear alloy. Now, I bet you've noticed that there's one elemental combination that I have yet to touch on, and I'm sure the trolls are itching to leave comments about viral combination damage dealing an additional 75% to any target with cloned flesh. Well, stop it. As we know, the information found in the wiki and codex is great, but it does not always translate into playtesting. Let's roll the clips. So here is my Paris Prime loaded up with the viral elemental combo. Note the damage. Now here is that same Paris Prime modded the exact same way, but with a radiation combo. Note the damage. Now I purposefully aimed for body shots so you can see the consistent damage without all of the critness. But as you can tell, an elemental combo specifically tailored for each type of armor is going to result in more damage. Almost double damage, in fact. To be honest, I'm not clear on how it all works. In fact, I sat here and crunched the numbers all day trying to figure it out. But the only thing that I could think of is that possibly corrosive and radiation are mitigated differently than the other damage types. Now with all that being said, there are several weapons in game that come pre-equipped with base elemental damage, and will help improve your output on each armor type. The Ignis's fire damage can be modded to create the radiation combo. The Lenka and Synapse both come pre-equipped with electric damage that can help create both corrosive and radiation elements. While the poison-based Torrid, Acrid, and Embolus can be used to create the corrosive and viral combinations. Now one weapon that I would like to spotlight here is the Stug, as it does innate corrosive damage. And as I stated in the Infested video, an innate combo won't eat an individual elemental mod. In this case, it means that you can create a weapon that has both corrosive and radiation properties. And if you really want to go crazy with it, you can even add a viral combo without having to sacrifice your base mods. And as for melee, the dual Ichor deals innate poison damage, while the Lecta and Prova both have electrical properties. A quick tip before I move on from these elemental combinations: although you can achieve the combo without adding an additional mod, I would still suggest adding the full combination as it helps strengthen the total damage, and in this case, it's a 75% damage bonus. You'd better take advantage of that like a drunk frat boy. Now, depending on how much mod space you have left after equipping the necessary quality of life mods, you definitely want to consider tossing in a Bane of Grineer mod. While the 30% damage increase may seem underwhelming, this increases the overall amount of damage you do, also increasing any of the armor-eating elemental combos you've already got equipped. Here's the math. You can pause that shit if you really want to take a look, but, you know, you could also just trust me. That would be nice. Well, that concludes the first episode of this 3-part series. Be sure to check out the other 2 episodes, which I'll leave in the info box below. And if there's anything that I missed, be sure to leave me a comment. But as always, watch for any annotations or addendums that I may have added, because I may not always be in the mood to re-script and re-record this video. Thanks, DE. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the 3-Way. Be sure to do the thing that I always ask you to do at the end of the video, and stay tuned for more inappropriate 3-Ways here at A Gay Guy Plays. Haha, can't switch teleport out of this, can you, bitch?